Good evening. You're tuned into Bizworld. The government has called on banks to continue to offer loan repayment assistance to individuals and small and medium enterprises, SMEs in need, including assistance in scheduling and restructuring their loans. Troubled borrowers are also urged to get free advice and assistance through the Credit Counseling and Management Agency, AKPK. Now, Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim also reminded the banking industry that they play an important role in driving post-pandemic economic growth. The statement followed a dialogue session with representatives of the banking sector last Wednesday as part of the government's ongoing efforts to obtain ideas and views related to the national economy. Datuk Seri Anwar said the banking industry needs to continue to support the development of micro-entrepreneurs through initiatives such as iTekat by using a combination of funds from financial institutions and social finance funds such as Zakat. Malaysian banks are expected to be able to pull off a decent performance in the second half of this year after a rough patch in the first half. According to Hong Leong Investment Bank, HLIB, this will be backed by the absence of a prosperity tax, improving net interest margins, and benevolent treasury market conditions. The investment bank reckons that the risk-reward is skewed to the upside, especially since headwinds were already broadly baked into forward expectations. As such, HLIB is tactically bullish on the sector and employs a rather broad stock-buying strategy in the second half of the year. Domestic solar power players are poised to do well on the back of a robust global renewable energy RE scene. RHB research noted that the International Energy Agency, IEA, expects global RE capacity growth to continue reaching new highs going into next year. Of this, the solar photovoltaic PV segment should continue to dominate the picture and account for 2/3 of such growth. Major markets such as China, Europe, the United States, and India are likely to contribute strong numbers due to lower module prices. Domestic contractors will also likely register strong earnings in the second half of this year on their solid order books. This is largely underpinned by large-scale solar contracts, as well as strong commercial and industrial demand. S&P Global has revised its global economic growth forecast for 2023, raising it to 2.9% from the previous projection of 2.7%. The ongoing demand resilience in many economies has led the agency to push out and temper the necessary growth slowdown. Now, the 2023 growth forecast for the American economy was revised up to 1.7% from 0.7%. Meanwhile, the Eurozone economy is now expected to grow 0.6% this year, up from the previous estimate of 0.3%. As for China's economy, it is projected to expand 5.2% this year, down from the previous expectation of 5.5%. The agency's global economic growth estimate for 2024, however, was revised down to 2.9% from its previous expectation of 3%. Global mergers and acquisitions, M&A activity fell 36% year-on-year in the second quarter. However, investment bankers and lawyers expressed optimism that the stock market's recovery will gradually restore deal-making confidence. The total value of M&A fell to $732.8 billion in the second quarter from $1.14 trillion same quarter last year. This as high interest rates and a standoff over the U.S. debt ceiling kept dealmakers on edge. The quarterly tally was also higher than the first quarter of 2023 when $601.3 billion in deals was announced, giving grounds for optimism to those who argue the recovery in the M&A market has started. That's all the time we have for Bizworld this time around. I'm Sabrina Zainal. Thanks for investing your time with us.